Audio Jungle.
What's up, guys? Joel Benavides, Crypto Capital SA here, and I just wanted to share with you what I'm up to right now. Sometimes life gets in the way and you're busy all day running errands or dealing with family stuff, and so it gets to be around midnight, 11:55, and that's when you get to start working on your side hustle. And if that's the legitimate truth, then you just have a decision to make whether to go to sleep and try to hit it up in the morning or to get work done right then and there. And it's not always great for you. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your health in order to get the work done, but it does take work. And so sometimes if I don't think I'm going to be able to wake up, I'll slam a 5-hour energy. I know it sounds terrible. Right before I go to sleep, and then that helps me wake up in the morning. And sometimes you have to do it. It's not good to do it every day, but that's the reality. So I want to show you guys what I'm working on right now. Just doing a little bit of bootstrap education, studying on some of the particulars. Oftentimes with technical analysis, we do a cursory investigation of what the chart pattern, indicator, or candle is telling us, and we leave out certain key points of information that prevent us from making the best possible decision during a trade. And so that's what this is about. So let's take a look. So you'll have to excuse the screenshot ice cream capture. I'm still working on that. I'll probably have that ironed out in a couple of weeks, but right here we have a bullish hammer, and you can tell it's a hammer because it's got a wider head than a dragonfly, which has a flat opening and closing price, and so it's a little bit bigger than a dragonfly, and so that's why we call it a hammer. It's got almost no tail at the top. And this is where the distinction comes in, because a lot of the literature will tell you that it doesn't have a high price, that the high price and the closing price in a green hammer is the same. And that's not necessarily true. Sometimes you get that little nub at the top, and so some people might be persuaded to dismiss it as not a hammer, and they would have been out on a trade like this. So just because it's got a little nub on there, it doesn't mean that you throw it out, and it could still potentially be a hammer. So oftentimes when we see a green hammer, we're led to believe that it's a bullish feature, and that is true. Here we see a sharp move to the downside, and then a bullish hammer, and then a breakout to the upside. And that's typically what you would expect with a hammer. But one of the important things to remember with hammers is that the color is important, right? It does tell us whether it's a bullish or a bearish signal. However, its location is even more important than the color. So you can have a green hammer at the top of a long up move, and it'll still represent a breakout to the downside. So that's what we mean when we say that these features, yes, the color is important. You would typically get a red hammer here, but if you get a hammer and it's at the top of a upward movement, you could look at that as a bearish signal. And so there's different nuances here that should be considered at all times, and that just takes time looking at the charts and keeping your studying, taking large amounts of personal notes if that's how you learn, or putting out content like this if that's how you learn. There's so many ways to do it, but we got to do it. One of the things to remember with hammers, it's also very important and will complete, for the most part, comprehensive knowledge on how these hammers work, is that you're waiting for that bullish signal to be confirmed with another green hammer afterwards, right here. If you don't, and you get a continuation of this trend, then you just be patient and you wait for the next signal. But don't see a green hammer and say, there's my signal, time to buy. You need confirmation. As with anything, as with a chart reversal, a hammer, or an indicator, you always get multiple sources of confirmation. And that's it. I hope you guys were able to get something of value off of that. I'm going to crash out here in a little bit after I'm done with some of the, I'm going to do the hammer and the hanging man and bullish engulfing. So we're going to take care of that stuff, and then we'll get some sleep, and we'll hit it hard in the morning again. So have a good night, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Cheers.
Audio Jungle.